Hey everyone, welcome to Blue Side Yoga. Sarah here. Today we are going to do a class for PTSD Awareness Month. So with this class, we're going to do a little bit of movement and then we're going to do a lot of long holds and stretching. The reason that we are doing this particular class is because when we have stress and trauma in the body, specifically for us veterans and first responders, we tend to hold our stress in our big muscle groups. So hips, glutes, back, traps, neck. And so towards the end of the class or after we finish our mindful movement in the beginning, we're going to really focus on long holds and try to release some of those areas of the body. So I want to give you a little bit of background on how PTSD manifests in the body. So trauma happens in the body when something unsafe, unpredictable, or uncontrollable happens in our lives. And I call those the three uns. So when something unpredictable, uncontrollable, or unsafe happens, it's a shock to our nervous system. And our nervous system controls the fight and flight response. And so often in our community, when we have these traumas, our nervous systems get stuck on, and it's really hard for us to relax. And the body then takes all of that extra energy and it's got to go somewhere. So we end up storing it in the body, in the big muscle groups, in the shoulders, in the neck. And that in turn causes us pain and discomfort. So with our class today, we are going to try to relieve some of that pain and discomfort and really focus on healing ourselves and getting us back to a baseline. So with that said, let's go ahead and get started. All right, come to the back of your mat. Feet about hip width apart. Standing nice and tall, shoulders are down. And let's just start with some simple movement. So go ahead and reach the arms up. Exhale forward. Now fold at the hips, hinge forward, and just let the head hang for a second. Bend the knees as much as you need. Hips, thighs, and chest can touch. You can lay the hands on the ground or grab opposite elbows, whatever feels good for you. And just let the head relax here for a moment. Nice deep breaths. Let the body just relax into the pose. From here, go ahead and place the hands on the shin and press so that you have a nice flat back. And go ahead and release back into your forward fold. This time, go ahead and take the hands and put them behind the legs, so on the calves or maybe just below. Let the head hang. Let's do that one more time. So go ahead and inhale, hands on the shins, flat back. And fold forward. From here, let's go ahead and just walk the hands out. Walk out into a plank. From here, you've got an option of either knees, chest, and chin, or a chaturanga if you're familiar with yoga. For the first one today, I'm going to do knees, chest, and chin. So go ahead and drop the knees, chest and chin at the same time. And then from here, just go ahead and drop the legs back. We're going to get into cobra pose. So legs are zipped together like a cobra. Hands are underneath the shoulders, and using your back muscles, you're going to just lift the chest off the ground. Imagine that you have an arrow from your heart going straight forward, and really engage those back muscles for your cobra pose. I know this doesn't feel like much of a stretch, but we have to engage the muscles, especially when we sit so rounded forward a lot. Go ahead and release down. Come back up into that cobra pose. So using the back muscles, peel that chest off the ground. And back down. From here, just go ahead and press straight up into your first downward dog of the day. So Hands are on the mat. The weight is between the L of your thumb and first finger. That will help protect the wrist. And then shift the hips back and towards the sky. Chest presses towards the thighs. Take some deep breaths here if that feels good, or if you need some more movement in your life, go ahead and just sway the hips from side to side. Get some movement through the back. You can walk or pedal your feet out if that feels good. And then just come back to that nice downward facing dog with some deep breaths. Focus on the stability. From here, go ahead and bring the left foot forward in between the hands. Drop the back knee and just chest up, look up. Just get some nice stretching through the hip flexor. Chest is up, shoulders are relaxed. Go ahead and place the hands back on the ground, and we're just gonna switch to the other side. So, left foot goes back, nice strong plank here. Right foot comes forward, drop that back knee, and just sink into this nice lunge. So chest up, you can have the hands to the side or on the knee if that feels better. You really sink into that hip flexor. Hands back on the ground. Let's come back to plank. So right foot goes back. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. I'm going to do a chaturanga now, which is just keeping the body straight, bending slowly down at the elbows, elbows close into the body. Now let's go ahead and roll forward through to upward facing dog. So the feet are flat on the mat. You're pressing into the feet and trying to lift the hips up a little bit. Engage through the core so that you're protecting your lower back. And from here, let's just go ahead and shift all the way to downward facing dog. Take some deep breaths. Now let's go ahead and take that left foot, bring it in between the hands, and we're gonna come up into Warrior One. So the back foot drops to about 45 degrees. You're gonna come up, front knee is going to be at a 90-degree angle. Hips are forward. And from here, we'll just bring the hands up overhead. Back is straight, shoulders are down. Breathe into this pose, being the strong warrior that you are. Go ahead and place the hands back on the ground. Left foot goes back to plank. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga, your choice. Come through to upward facing dog. Remember to engage the core, protect the lower back. And now shift the hips all the way back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. And this time, go ahead and bring the right foot forward in between the hands. Warrior One. So back foot is at 45 degrees, a nice 90-degree bend in the front leg. And then hips are straight. Just stand straight up. Hands come overhead. Shoulders are relaxed, not shrugging the shoulders. And breathe. Place the hands back on the ground. Go ahead to plank, chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Roll through to upward facing dog. Push through to downward facing dog. And from here, let's just drop into a child's pose. So go ahead and place the knees on the mat. Knees are about as wide as your mat. sitting back, and then just stretch the hands all the way forward. Let the forehead rest on the ground. So rest and breathe here. Take a deep breath. Exhale it all the way out. One more deep breath all the way in. Exhale all the way out. From here, let's go through one more sequence to really make sure we're warmed up, and then we will get into our nice long stretches. So from here, just go ahead and snake it right on through into your upward facing dog. Press on through to downward facing dog. Hips go up into the air. From here, go ahead and take that left foot, bring it in between your hands. We're gonna come up to Warrior 2 now. So back foot goes out to 90 degrees. Front foot stays exactly where it's at, 90-degree bend in the front leg. Hips are now shifted towards the side. From here, one palm is forward, one hand is straight over the back, and your gaze is forward. Make sure you're relaxing the shoulders and just sink nicely into that Warrior 2. Take your front hand and flip it over. Back hand, just go ahead and rest it lightly on the back. And a reverse warrior, just get a nice stretch through the side body, reaching to the back. Now the front hand, take that elbow, bring it to the front knee. Back hand reaches all the way overhead. And let's do that one more time. So reverse warrior, bring that hand all the way to the back, stretch all the way. Nice stretch through the side body. Now let's go ahead and cartwheel the hands all the way to the ground. We're going back to plank. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin, your choice. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. And let's do this on the right side. So right foot comes forward in between the hands. Warrior 2, so back foot is 90 degrees, out to the side. Front leg stays where it's at. Hips are shifted to the open side. Palms facing down, one hand to the front, just in line with the knee. The other is over the back. And make sure that you are relaxing the shoulders, no shrugging. Relax the shoulders and gaze over the front hand. Flip the front hand. And let's go ahead into our reverse warrior. So back hand is on the leg, lightly stretch towards the back. Front elbow to knee. And reach all the way forward for extended pose here. Let's go back one more time. Reverse warrior. And go ahead and cartwheel the hands all the way down. Front leg goes into plank. Your choice of knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Come through to upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. And from here, come into your child's pose. So knees out to the side. Hips are back. Stretch the hands forward. Forehead on the mat, and just breathe. All right, team, the next thing we're gonna do is focus on getting into some deep hip stretching now. So we're gonna transition into that piece. I'm gonna show you a couple of options. So your body may be at a different space and time for what you need to do today. So the first stretch that we're gonna focus on is with the glutes and the piriformis and the huge muscles that are just on the sides that wrap around that tend to carry a lot of our stress. So if you're familiar with yoga, the first pose that we're gonna do is pigeon pose. So I'll show you how to get into that pose. So take the left foot and bring it forward, so almost like a 90-degree, and just let it drop to the side. The back leg, so in this example, my right leg is stretched straight back. This is gonna be kind of a difficult pose for a lot of us that do not do a lot of stretching. So again, this one is really for someone that knows a bit about yoga and you're comfortable in this position. And I'm just turning around so that you can see. If your hip is on the ground, then you can stay in this position. If you are up here or struggling with that, I'm gonna show you a different position that we're gonna do to help start releasing that, because we really wanna keep hip stability. So, pigeon pose. If you're in it, stay in it. If you are struggling a bit with that one, we're gonna do something different. We're gonna lay on the back, cross the leg, and from here, you are just going to take the knee and press it away from you. If that feels good and you're feeling the stretch through the side, we're gonna stay there. If you need a little bit more, then go ahead and lift that bottom leg and pull it in for your stretch. So at this point, we're gonna hold this stretch for 2 minutes. I'm gonna be quiet. Just relax into whichever pose feels best for you. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it all the way out. Release from that pose. And then transition to the other side. So pigeon, or if you're doing a figure 4 cross leg, whatever feels good for you, for where you're at today, go ahead and transition into that pose, and we'll have another 2-minute stretch. Take a deep inhale. Exhale it out. Relax from that pose. And from here, we're going to transition into just a nice lower back release. So if you were in pigeon pose, flip around and get into the position that I'm actually in. So you're going to lay on your back. One leg is going to cross. I'm using my right leg crossed right now. And your foot is just going to fall flat onto the ground. Just teeter over. You're going to stay on your back. Hands can go out to the side. And just relax into this nice lower back twist. If you want to have your head turned to the opposite way, so it'd be to the right, you can do that to get a little bit of extra twist, but just play around and see what feels good for that nice, just gentle lower back twist. Let the body relax into it. Continue your deep breathing. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Go ahead and untwist yourself there, and then go ahead and switch to the other side. So now my left leg is crossed. The foot that's on top, just let it fall right over to the side, and then lay back, relax into this nice, gentle stretch. Take a deep inhale and exhale all the way out. Go ahead and untwist. Slowly make your way to a seated position. And from here, we're going to transition to some upper body stretching. The first one we're going to do is for the back and the T-spine, and trying to start to release through the upper back. So we're going to do a puppy pose. And to get into that, your knees are going to be aligned with your hips. And you're going to stretch the hands all the way forward and really try to start to arch the T-spine. So try to not arch in the lower back. So see how I'm just releasing here? We're really stretching forward and working on that stretch through the middle of the shoulder blades, through the T-spine. And from there, just go ahead and let the forehead relax and feel the stretch through the shoulders, through the upper body, through the T-spine. And we'll relax here for 2 minutes. You'll feel like your arms are pressing into the mat a bit. That's normal. Take a deep breath. Exhale it out. From here, go ahead and just come down to your belly, and I'm going to explain what we're going to do next. So we're going to get into the shoulders a bit more. And the reason for that is we end up really hunching forward, and we carry our stress, and we really either like sitting at a computer, or when we just feel bad, we just kind of enclose in. And so we're gonna do a chest stretch to really open that area of the body up. And when you can release the chest muscles, your back muscles will also be able to move more freely as well. So what we're gonna do is you're gonna stay on your belly. You're gonna take your one arm and about 90-degree bend in the elbow, but you're gonna push it up a little bit. So it's gonna be on the ground. So I'll get into the position. And then from here, you're going to twist your body to the opposite side of your arm and see how far you can get into this nice chest and shoulder stretch. It may not be very far depending on your mobility, your flexibility, and a lot of us have shoulder injuries, but do your best and just relax and let that arm be at the side. And maybe even just closer on your belly is enough. You don't even need to do a full twist, but just relax and let that shoulder open up. Go ahead and take a deep breath in. Exhale all the way out. Go ahead and untwist yourself, and we're just gonna move to the opposite side. So the other arm, 90 degrees, bend in the elbow, and then the shoulder is just a little bit up. Place it flat on the mat. Twist your body to the opposite way, and then relax into this stretch. Take a deep breath in. Exhale it out. Go ahead and untwist. And we're gonna come to a seated position for our final stretch. We're gonna work on relaxing the traps and the neck. So whichever seated position works for you. Cross-legged sometimes doesn't work for a lot of us. So you can either sit in kind of a hero's pose, or if you want to get a really little bit of an extra hip stretch, you can actually sit in between the legs, but just find yourself a comfortable seated position here. From here, one hand is gonna go out to the side. So my left hand's gonna go out. From here, gently just guide the neck to the right side and relax the arm, relax the neck, and just feel this nice, gentle stretch. And we're gonna hold this here. Continue to breathe deep. Go ahead and release the hand from the head. Continue with your next stretch, and now just slowly turn the head to look down towards your shoulder. Slowly rotate it back up. And if there's any tightness that you feel while you're doing this slow rotation, just give yourself some time in that spot that feels a little tight, and focus on just releasing that spot. If you feel some tingling in your arm, it's normal. You shouldn't feel pain though. If you feel pain, make sure you stop. Slowly moving the neck. Now look at your right shoulder, so if you're following along with my cue. And now just move the head up and down like you're nodding yes. very slowly. See if that has any different sensation for you in the neck. And again, if you find a tight spot, just pause there for a moment and get the really nice releasing stretch that you need. Go ahead and bring the head back to neutral. Let's go to the other side. So this time stretch the right arm out as far as you can. Left arm, just gently guide the neck toward the left so that you get a nice stretch through the side of the neck, through the traps. Again, if you feel a little bit of tingling in the arm, that's normal. Breathe into it. Go ahead and release the hand. Now slowly move the neck, looking towards the ground. And then slowly rotating up. Pausing if there's any tightness and pulling. Focusing on relaxing the area that is tight for you. Now bringing your gaze towards the left shoulder, and now rotating the head up and down. Slowly going through your range of motion. And go ahead and bring the head back to neutral. Hands at heart center. Take a nice deep breath. Exhale it all the way out. And again, deep inhale. Exhale all the way out. One more time, deep inhale. Exhale all the way out. Go ahead and open your eyes. Thank you so much for practicing with me today in this beautiful spot in Ritter, Oregon, and I hope to see you on the mat very soon. If you like what we're doing here at Blue Side Yoga, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and if you look in the description box below, you'll see a subscription link so that we can always keep in touch. So make sure you sign up. Thanks everybody. Bye.